All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Elijah Talks Ball. I'm about 16 hours behind here. TNF Recap. Rams beat the Vikings. Had some in-laws over and then just kind of got held up, but had to get the video out because pretty good game. And, as I mentioned in the before video, wasn't overly excited until I heard about Kupp and Nacua were going to be active, and boy, were they. Huge reason that the Rams pulled it off. Vikings defense starting to get exposed a little bit. This team off to an incredible 5-0 start, dropped the last two games. Rams, opposite track. They've won 2 games in 5 days, so we're going to dive into all of it. First, like and subscribe, comment down below. This is Elijah Talks Ball, and I can't talk it without you talking back. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let's move forward. 28-20 was the final score. Matthew Stafford had thrown 3 touchdowns all year. Guess what? Goes ahead and throws 4 last night. Kupp ends up grabbing one of them. Demarcus Robinson gets the other 2, and Kyren Williams says, "Don't leave me out of the party." Extends his streak to 10 straight games with a touchdown. This one's for all of my Madden fans. You know when you're in franchise and they say, rush for over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns with your running back to improve his development trait. That's what Kyren Williams has done over the past 10 weeks. He has improved his development trait. You could put him in the superstar category now. 10 straight games with a touchdown. And has sprung onto the scene over the last 2 seasons. And just been a dominant running back. Really, you think of a Sean McVay offense, air it out. We're going to hit you, 20 yards over the middle, play after play after play. Tons of motion. Well, guess what? This team has kind of turned into almost a smash mouth football team. Don't get me wrong. They still love to throw the ball, but when you throw in Kupp, who loves to block, Puka Nacua, who loves even more to block, Kyren Williams, it's tough, physical running back out of Notre Dame, Matthew Stafford, like I said, one of the toughest guys in the league. This team seems to have an identity more similar to the Lions than they do the Dolphins, which that's not always what you think. With the LA Rams, kind of think glitz and glamour, but they're much more guts and gory. If you ask me, after watching last night, go up against one of the more physical teams in the NFL, and they knocked them around. I mean, the defense was pretty superb. If you ask me, of course, they had the first 2 drives. They give up back-to-back touchdowns on the drives. Justin Jefferson is just cooking them. But after that drive, 6 more points for the rest of the game. So lights out, they figured out what was going on, and they clamped down. And I got to say, you got to give Sean McVay some more flowers. We've given it to him over his career. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been to another one. Consistently has his team playing hard. But what he's done this year, after finishing last year as one of the hottest teams, then coming in, you got to face the Lions in Detroit off of their incredible season. First game of the year, Sunday night, and you lose damn near all your starters, it felt like, through the first half of that game. So you drop it. Then you get your ass kicked by Arizona. And then you string together a win, but then you can't figure it out because all your guys are injured. You go into this game, last Sunday, you only got 1 win on the year, and you got 4 losses. And it feels like if you lost 1 more, start trading guys, which is what you heard the reports, Kupp on the market. But then you whoop the Raiders, and then you take it to the Vikings tonight, and now you're 1 game out of first place, and you face the Seahawks next week, which if you win, you'd have a piece of first place. This team is getting healthy, and they had their bye at the right time, and we've seen how Sean McVay, how good of a coach he is, and Les Snead, how great of a GM he is. This team ain't selling, that's for sure. They have a chance to win next week, and in a weak division, kind of when the Niners don't seem like, are they even going to figure it out? The Cardinals they can't make up their mind on whether they're a contender or a pretender. And then the Seahawks, the verdict is still out. And if you're asking me, if I had to choose between the 3-4 Rams and the 4-3 Seahawks to win that division, I'm picking the Rams 10 times out of 10 because they got Matthew freaking Stafford as their quarterback. So, love what you saw out of the Rams, as well as the defense. Very young. I mean, look at their front, their defensive front. You got Jared Verse, first round pick this year. You got Kobe Turner, damn near defensive rookie of the year last year. You got Braden Fisk, your second round draft pick this year. You got, did I say Byron Young already? I can't remember. Lot of talent on the team. Super exciting. So, yeah, if I'm a Rams fan, I'm hyped up. I'm feeling good about it. The season has completely turned around. And that's the crazy thing about the NFL. Only takes 2 weeks. Especially in the beginning of the season. Things are still so young right now. There's only a few teams like the Panthers, the Patriots, the Browns, that the season's truly over. Even the Jets, yeah, they're 2-5. Their season's not over yet. There's still over half the games yet to be played. Now they do got to go on a run, but I mean, look at the Rams. They had one win 6 days ago. Now they're one game out of first place. So kudos to them. Moving on to the other side of the field, talking about the Minnesota Vikings. This train was humming 2 weeks ago. 5-0. Nobody could figure out what Brian Flores was doing. Sam Darnold playing at MVP level. Kevin O'Connell, coach of the year. Just give it to him already. Well, they drop a heartbreaker to the Lions last week. Great game. And then they come in Thursday night in the Rams' house. And I wouldn't say get dominated, but, you know, it seemed like that second half, one team wanted it a little bit more. And I'm not saying the Vikings have a culture problem. It's hard to stay motivated when you get off to a 5-0 start. And I do still think this team is very good, obviously. You're not 5-2 out of happenstance and just getting lucky. This team's got a lot of great players. But you wonder, is Sam Darnold the guy? Is he that guy where we saw last night, which we'll get into the refs in a second, but is he the guy that 2 minutes left, no timeouts, 95 yards to go, that you feel insanely confident that he's going to drive you down and get you winning points? I'm not sure if he's there yet. And he's looked great this year. Kudos to him. And kudos to Kevin O'Connell. But I'm not quite there with him yet. You know, just as the Vikings 5-2, this is all a new feeling. It's a new feeling having Sam Darnold ball out. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball. Are we worried that maybe after the first 5 weeks, some film got out, they figured out how to attack this blitz-heavy Brian Flores defense, and now they're getting exposed a little bit? You know, the first 2 drives, they go down and get touchdowns, the Rams, that is. They got helped by a couple penalties. I mean, penalties are penalties, but they weren't as egregious as the game-ending one. But 28 points is not a top-tier defense. And now 2 weeks in a row, you give up over 28 as you were just stifling every other team that came in. And we're talking about the Texans, the Niners, you know, the Packers in the first half. They started to figure it out in the second half, but you take that with a grain of salt because just as in life in general, you let off the gas a little bit when things are going good. But you wonder if some of these teams have figured out how to scheme up against this Brian Flores defense. Now you got the long bye week. Maybe you go in and try to snag a J.C. Horn, like I mentioned yesterday. Maybe a Marshawn Lattimore or a Tyrann Mathieu. You know, they got a couple good safeties with Josh Metellus and Cameron Bynum, but it doesn't hurt to have enough talented guys on the team. So maybe you make a move because your offense is fucking loaded. I will say, though, the left tackle, Christian Darrisaw, losing him, that hurts. And that hurts big time. So hopefully it's nothing serious. He can come back in a couple weeks, but he was on crutches after the game. Doesn't look great. I'll have to check up on that. But yeah, you're going to have to take these next 10 days and kind of figure out what's going on with the defense. You know, how come our offense can score 14 points in the first 10 minutes of the game and then 6 for the rest of it against a team that's not known for the defense? You know, Justin Jefferson, quiet in the second half. You got to feed him the ball. Jordan Addison, you know, 2 catches on the day. Got to get him the ball more. Aaron Jones, not enough touches. You know, you guys got playmakers. Don't keep them all in the shed. Get them out, use them. Outside of that, great Thursday night game. That's what you want. What you don't want is it fucking coming to an end on a blown face mask call in the end zone that led to a safety. I was going for the Rams. I like their guys. I like McVay. But I want to see a fair game, and I got friends that are Vikings fans. Nothing sucks more outside of injuries than when the refs blow a call to end the game. And I get it. It was hard to see. But you got 2 guys looking at him. And you got to think one guy's always at least dialed into the offensive line, another on the quarterback, especially post, throw, or with guy in his face. And you can't catch his head getting yanked back like he's damn near about to break his neck? I mean, Vikings fans, they have every right to just riot right now. As frustrating as some of those penalties were in the beginning of the game, this dwarfs that. And this isn't to say that, the Vikings would have gone down, got a touchdown with no timeouts left, 95 yards, and then a 2-point conversion, and then won in overtime. But they had a chance. And you blow that chance. What if this happens in a playoff game? And we're just going to act like it's cool? I mean, how can these refs continually be so bad at their job and continue to be backed by a billion-dollar corporation? If I was this shitty at my job, you know what would happen? I wouldn't be working there no more. It's outrageous. I'm tired of it. They got to fix it, man. I mean, we saw with the Georgia-Texas game, which was outrageous in itself that they threw the flag in the first place because it was, if anything, offensive pass interference on the receiver. Then they get a huge pick all the way down to damn near, what was it, the 2-yard line? Or was it a touchdown? I can't remember. Either way, game-changing play. And they call pass interference on the defense. Then all the fans throw trash on the field, and they reverse the call. So somebody came down in the headset and be like, hey, man, yeah, actually, that was a shitty call, but we're going to have to reverse that. Let's get it right the first time. How about that? Why can't throw the flag and then get a little buzz in your headset, say, that's actually not a penalty. I mean, shit, I could have my girlfriend on Bluetooth, and I could be watching a game. She could throw a flag, and I could tell her right there in live time, actually not a penalty. 10 seconds later, doesn't kill any time. But we got to get these things right. I mean, this is big shit on the line. So, hopefully they figure this out, but it seems like they won't because it's been, a decade now of it just degrading at an exponential rate, and they haven't done shit about it. Outside of that, kind of a boring slate on Sunday. Now, you could have some great games, but you don't have any marquee matchups like last week. Green Bay, Texans, Lions, Vikings, Chiefs, Niners. Couple games to watch. Bears, Commanders, Caleb versus Jaden. Hopefully Jaden plays. He's still day-to-day. Cowboys, Niners, Sunday night. That's always a fun game. Usually the Niners stomp them, but maybe it's different. It's usually their get-right game. Cowboys, they could use a win right now. So, a lot on the line in that game. Niners, if they lose, 3-5. Yuck. Cowboys, same thing. Must-win game for both teams. Obviously, got to tune into the Pats and Jets. Jets, backs against the wall. Patriots, all the drama going on with Jerome Mayo. Drake May's third start. Aaron Rodgers' 300th start, it feels like. Be fun to watch that one. And then a couple fun ones in college. Notre Dame and Navy. Navy, 6-0 for the first time, 60 years. Same with the Army. They're 7-0. Navy's ranked 24. Notre Dame still at 12 somehow, even though they got their shit kicked in by fucking NIU. They'll probably make the playoff. Navy needs to win this game. I want to see Navy versus Army in that game, both undefeated. That would be legendary. That game would get record-breaking viewership. That would be awesome. I also love to see one of the academies in the playoffs. Like, if both those teams go undefeated and they win that conference game, they're going in to the playoffs. So, fun to see. Texas A&M, LSU, 8 versus 14. LSU 8, A&M 14. Garrett Nussmeier, he makes the most NFL throws out of any quarterback I've seen in college football. Not saying he's the best one, but the way he throws with anticipation and layers the ball gets me hot and bothered. A&M been on a hot streak, just like LSU since their first week. Both teams. A&M lost to Notre Dame. LSU lost to USC. 6-0 since then. Really figured it out. LSU night game, I believe. Those are always epic. Mizzou, Bama. Must-win game for Bama. Must win. If they don't win this game, season's over. Not making the playoffs. You can't. Too much damage has been done. Also surprised, Texas, Vandy. Vandy, remember, after Bama beat Georgia, they come in, Vandy, lay an egg, get beat. Now Texas gets beat by Georgia. Maybe Vandy's not that bad. So we'll see what kind of game they put up. Can they be Cinderella's missing slipper and keep these guys from going to the dance? And of course, guys, the World Series starts tonight. Jack Flaherty taking the pill, game 1, up against Garrett Cole, the ace, the Cy Young. Juan Soto, Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, Shohei, Mookie, Freddie. Should be an epic game. If you got the dough, might as well go. Hopefully, we see a 7-game blood-thickening series. I want my blood pressure up 20 points by the end of next week. If not, I want my money back. Hope you guys enjoy this weekend. Should be fun. Enjoy the World Series. Enjoy NFL. Enjoy college. We'll get back on here tomorrow morning talking about Game 1 World Series. And then, of course, our Sunday recap. So, guys, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Like the video. And peace out.